front row bulkhead seat, all of your items must be placed into an overhead locker. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure an on-time departure,
Good morning.
we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board.
Good morning.
Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no-smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Good afternoon, welcome back. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good week so far. We're past the midway point and we start today at Boston. It's Logan International Airport in the Massachusetts state in America. We're on the VATSIM network back in the Fenix A319 and we're off for a two-sector day today, racing a real jet down to Washington National, DCA. Hoping maybe the weather's good enough for a river visual, but we'll find out when we get there. We'll get a bit closer, and from there we're going to do a turnaround and then head north again back to New York to arrive at our final destination of LaGuardia for today as well. So if you're new to the channel, good to see you. Hit like, hit subscribe. Phoenix have just released an update to the A319 and A321 package. We'll have a look at the changelog throughout the journey as well before we use that tomorrow in our A321 hop, which is going to be really cool. So hope you're well. Zato, good to see you, matey. Badger's got the current METAR here at Boston in the live chat view, folks. Altimeter's 3023 inches of mercury. And yeah, we're in a really nice American Airlines A319. A little bit of stress before the start of the journey today because we had that frustrating GSX pink people bug, which I've then, don't know why that's in the way all of a sudden. Which I've had to kind of then reboot the sim for and try and fix. I've followed the installation carefully, but for some reason it still gave me pink people. One thing I did quite like actually with this is, you might have seen it just for the first few minutes at the start of the journey today, just before the intro started. The jetty is kind of see-through, so during boarding you get a much more immersive kind of look and feel because you've got that door open rather than having the door closed like a lot of scenery. So this is the Fly Tampa Boston Logan and it's really, really good. We're going to just send some of this to the MCDU to do our final bit of pre-flight because there is the real American 1413 pushing back about now actually at Boston for this sector. So we've done all the flight plan. We haven't done the perf page, we've done it in A and B. So the reason why I left the perf page is because if I throw all of this data in here and calculate the data, send it to the MCDU, we're going to directly change the figures now to compare it against what SimBrief's performance tool has given us, which I find a bit more accurate and usable. So hopefully this will show you the difference in performance. Now, they obviously use one type of performance calculator from an operator, whoever that airline may be. SimBrief for Navigraph obviously has data from another airline slash operator of this aircraft. So, oops, 30, 15. I don't want that thrust reduction altitude. So it's given us that data there, which is weird because it's giving us instead, what are we? Gross weight, centre of gravity, 0 fuel weight 54.6. Takeoff weight 60.9, which matches. So, yeah, there's quite a bit of a difference in this actually. We have got V1 of 125 on SimBrief, rotate 125, and V2 of 127. Transitions 18, I put the thrust reduction, climb altitude stuff in there, and it's given us a flex of 67 and flaps 1. Like so. Just going to refresh the weather and the data though, just to see what it gives us. 25, 25, 7. Yeah, there we go. So quite a bit of a difference, isn't it, in comparison. David, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Flying Panda and Ian, good afternoon. New PC day for Ian, so he's getting a new RTX 4080, I think, aren't you, mate? Very exciting. Quick run through the charts, just because we are racing the jet. We are here at Boston's Logan Airport, stand Bravo 21, which is down here, that little blob that I've just drawn. We're going to push start facing kind of southeasterly on Echo, and then we're going to taxi out of Echo down onto Bravo, Kilo, Mike, and then we'll go for that full length there. Short-ish runway, 2,134 metres, but actually it should be alright for what we have in line for today. Onto the Patriot 7 departure, go Pats, heading 092 degrees from runway 09, so we're following that line today. Outbound to Claw, then Fenway, Gillette there. Obviously the Gillette Stadium, Patriots home. And then working out to Pats, where we have an initial climb altitude of 5,000 feet in the box already. Just going to change the hectopascals figure to inches of mercury for the QNH. And we are going to then route over New York. Should get some views to the left of New York potentially, because we'll be passing to the west of Newark, down towards Medina, and then working into Washington National, which is there. Currently 01 is the active runway in real life, but we're just considering a few different options. Runway 19 had the river visual, for example, so that's only got a 4-knot tailwind at the moment. It is doable for us. You guys in the live chat will have to tell us before we reach cruise which one you would like to see. So do smash away in the live chats and let us know which of those approaches you want. We either do 01, which has, let me just see here, approach. We have the Mount Vernon visual for runway 01, so that's an option. We could fly that, or we go for the tailwind and we do the river visual 19 over the Potomac. So yeah, let us know which one you want to see, because obviously one is 01, that's used in real life at the moment with real world ATIS, or we could push the limits a little bit and go for 0. We could do the river visual. That's done. We've got our ATIS set. That's good. Company message. We've got our loading boarding complete. We'll pop the seatbelt signs on. Wait for 3 seconds. Zotto, Carlita, good morning. Patricio, welcome, welcome. David says, what do I watch a Patriots fan fly? You know what? I've not watched any of the NFL this year so far. I know I think it's still pre-season, isn't it? But I haven't watched any of it. Which is pretty bad, actually. I've downloaded an American Airlines sound pack for today as well. It sounded like it was working in the background a minute ago. Hopefully it will work a bit more when we get there. Let me set up a poll. Well, in fairness, Flying Panda and David, I've not ditched them when Brady left. But ultimately, well, I really like watching the Browns play as well, though, to be fair. Right, there's the poll. Let's wait for that APU to fire up. So you guys can vote now until we reach kind of most of the way through climb, actually, because otherwise it will take a bit too long. Load sheets, just pop out that one, that's the prelim, and we'll take the new one. That's good, that's all set. Thrust reduction, so performance, init A, init B, we've done the winds as well, and we've got our flight plan all ready to go. Out through Patriots, Pats, and then direct Nelly. So 1228's the frequency, predicted wind shear, everything else is on. We'll leave the flight deck door open for now just so we can hear some of the noise, and we shall pop Le Beacon on to trigger the GSX actions automatically here. Ben is fantastic. The Fenix A319 and 21 is amazing. Jackstones, it depends on, we're on Unicom ultimately, so provided we're not getting in the way of other people, we will be able to use the river visual if we wish, and there's a whole load of us flying in, so we could follow the real ATIS. Ordinarily that would be the default preference, but as Ian says, if it's quiet and there's no air traffic control, we will be fine. Providing we don't get in the way of others, and again that's where working together on Unicom becomes really quite important, working with others and making sure we all enjoy the network equally. So that's all good. FCU set. Alright, no, it's not 320 sim, super fan. It's automatically decided. Thank you, that was the next thing. My next query, just got to work out the CTAF. $28.8. Okay, and let's pause the music. Boston traffic, American 1413, A319 on Stan Bravo 21, altimeter 3024, push start facing east on Echo. Bravo 9.
Release parking brakes.
Bar brakes off.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Oh Ben, yeah, if you're going to have to buy one over the other, 100% buy the 777. That thing is remarkable. I can hear the announcements, but it's super quiet. I could, like, as in barely hear them. Hey ho. Ignition mode start, engine 2. See that ignition with the fuel control lever there? You might have just spotted it flick open into the open position. Yeah, ultimately there's going to be about 15 of us. Well, no, maybe not 15, that's optimistic. About 10 of us flying into DCA today. I don't know what Skabidi means, but thank you for your super chat, 320 sim. But you have to have the 320 to get the other two, and the other two are a package, so kind of limits your options there. Look at this weather. The weather in this part of the States, by the way, for the rest of the day is decreasing. It's getting worse. The TAF for Washington National is really quite poor. Engine 1. So throughout the rest of the day, very bad. But we're just getting in ahead of it. Flight Tampers Boston is stunning. Look how good that looks. R5.
Thank you.
It's a 737, love it. Long push here to this spot, which should be there, spot Bravo 9, a little triangle underneath us there.
Southeast on taxiway Alpha.
Which is more skibbity, the A319,
I mean, the bot knows how to say skibbity. But I've got no idea what that means. Don't forget, I'm in my mid-30s. Somebody DM'd me the other day, although it was spam, so it got rather annoying quite quickly, because they just wouldn't get the idea that I was busy and I worked for a living. And they actually thought I was 15. I just thought, how have you got that so wrong? But hey ho. I think the guy just wanted to chat, bless him. Right, that's disconnected. Ground spoilers on, ignition mode norm, rudder trim 0 and reset. Flaps 1 set, transponder codes all set. We want up 1, which is about there. There we go, pitch 0.1 up, lovely. So, flight control checks left, back to centre, right, back to centre. All the way back. Got my wing hardware today. All the way forwards. Rudders. Ah, see, that was weird because that was neutral then, and it just zipped across all the way to far right, which is odd. Hey ho. APU can come off, taxi lights on, that's all set, auto brake max, brakes off. Oh, brain rot Zato, brilliant. That's a bit weird. Alright, rolling already.
Cut off brake 8153, currently at gate somewhere. I'm pushing back into the cul-de-sac facing east.
And Boston Logan traffic, American 1413, taxi to hold point, Mike 09er via Echo, Bravo, Kilo and Mike. I don't know where Echo X-ray 4 left means, Doc. I can't see that on the charts at all. And I've zoomed right in. Yeah, Sasati's broken swells. Clever Trevor, yes, the IAEs. American operate both engine options, of course. You two right and Kilo. Oh, you mean cross 4 left? Yeah, that's what that means. Oh, thanks. Boston traffic, American 1413, crossing 4 left. Oh, I started New Sky a bit late now anyway, but yes, I have. It's been a chaotic start to the day. I had to restart the sim right at the end of my prep for the stream. Look at those strobes bouncing. Very nice. The lighting's just right. Yes, Drzecki designs Reagan International Air.
traffic, Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey, taxiing 209 right.
And I'm going to take this for the
Alpha
full
November,
length just
Bravo,
because
Foxtrot,
it's
and
sensible. Boston traffic, American 1413, clear of 04 left, and now lining up 09er. Oh, all the lights. Takeoff memos. Config test. We should have the cabin secure, but if not, I'll tell them. Get your seats quick. Go on, Noreen.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Whiskey, now crossing 04 left.
They're always called like Gloria or Noreen and stuff, aren't they? And they're like 78 years old, the cabin crew in America.
AASS saying, what's your jobs? Thoughtful face.
Boston's a fantastic part of the States. I absolutely love this place. I've not been here for years now. I do miss it. Boston and San Diego, they're my favourite locations in the US. Right. Stick forwards, get a bit of power in. And Logan traffic, American 1413's taken off 09er, Pats 7. Go Pats. Flex SRS, hit 2 clicks. Power set, speed's alive. There's quite a discrepancy, certainly on these shorter flights, between the sim brief performance calculations and the Fenix calculations, which means that they've got very different takeoff data. 100 knots, looking good, but I trust the sim brief performance calcs more. V1 rotates, V2 gently back 3 degrees per second, and that's going to give us this nice smooth rotation. Positive rate, gear up, follow the flight director. Oh yes, let's have a quick peek here. That noise, I love the sound of the IAEs, it's great. Okay, autopilot 1 engage. Yes, Ian. They're not wrong. Everything's brilliant. There, Boston traffic, American 1413's airborne, 1500 feet outbound, Patriot 7, last call. Cross lever climb.
Watch the traffic, 91123, lining up and waiting on runway 9.
Okay, that's off, that's good, let's pop that off. I need the dome light on because the contrast is horrendous here. Just waiting for our thrust reduction altitude. 320 superfan, thank you mate, appreciate the super chat again. But do understand during takeoff I'm trying to focus as well, hence why it wasn't acknowledged. I've not noticed those wind farms there before, but then we don't often use 09er. It's obviously in use at the moment for noise abatement procedures and things. We'll keep this going, 5,000, we'll keep it going to 32, which is our cruise altitude for today. There goes the acceleration altitude now. Quick tweak of the weather radar. Starting to gently accelerate now. So we'll wait till we get to near 185, 190 knots, and from there we should begin a flap retraction schedule. But look at these clouds around us, these are absolute mammoths, some of these. So throughout the rest of the day it's going to get worse for those of you flying around in this part of the region, the world. If you want super challenge, then that's course, going to be Japan for today, being hit by hurricanes again. Come on, girl. Let's get accelerating. Nicholas, welcome. Enzo, yes, we'll go through that shortly. I think I've got somebody right at my chuff. Okay, through S, flap 0, speed brake retracted, disarmed. Data, thank you, buddy. There's 2 triples flying this today, I think. The views in this thing is fantastic.
Traffic as per all time with Whiskey lining up on 09, short of 04, right for incoming traffic.
Look at that. Alright, we're going in this. Get your seatbelts on, everybody. I love weather in the sim. When it looks this good, it's just brilliant, isn't it? Here we go.
Headbound traffic. Osprey 8153, holding short line.
Oh, look at that. Gonna just play it safe here because there were CVs reported in the area on the TAFs and things, so I'm gonna get all the heating on, even though we've got climb power, so we shouldn't need engine heat. But just save me worrying about it anyway, and I'll turn the landing lights off for now as well because it's pointless otherwise having them on. Missions on, that's all off. For those of you who didn't see it yesterday, by the way, there is a new scenery by Vuelo Simple coming very soon. Oh, that breakout. And it is by Vuelo Simple for Skardu.
Triples to DCA and LGA, what can possibly go wrong? Famous last words.
Look how clear it is down that way. But we're not going that way. We're going into the fluff. Into the pea soup.
Traffic as per all time with Whiskey departing 09.
Eric, no I don't. 10,000.
We've
got tilt +1. Put it back up to... That's weird. Tilt doesn't do anything. First time I've noticed that. I love the sim when it's like this, just brilliant, isn't it? Imagine what Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is going to look like in just over about 2 months now. Dark Edits, welcome mate. Looking to do his first VATSIM flight tonight in the 737-600. He's watched all of the tutorials here on the channel, very grateful for the effort I've put into them. No, mate, you're more than welcome. Hopefully it's given you enough confidence and made you feel prepared enough. If you want, depending on where you're flying later, Dark Edits, feel free, because I know you're in our Discord server, to put your route in there. And basically ask. You can ask us to verify it and check it, double check it if you want, just take a bit of the nerves off about your flight planning maybe. Feel free to ask some of us in that server to have a little look and double check it if you wish. But you'll be absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. What route are you going to be flying, out of curiosity?
As per all time with Whiskey passing through to 3000. Tickets departure.
So cloudy. We probably won't see New York. What do we got? Lights, beacon. Yeah, let's just turn the seatbelt signs off now, we should be fine. Ignition's gone off. Oh, Eric, well done, mate. Good effort. How did it go yesterday? Your first ever VATSIM flight as well. Nice. And so yeah, hopefully that'll be some stuff we can look forward to in MSFS 2024. And it should be, Ian. Yeah, should be. Everything supposedly will carry across okay. So if you're just tuning in as well, or you're wondering, like we mentioned a minute ago, about the update that I mentioned at the start of the stream to the Fenix A319 and A321, update 2.2.0.334 is now available as a patch. It says they've added missing phase 10 ECAM inhibits, adjusted the A321 blending law PID controller to fix oscillations in certain conditions, adjusted cargo distribution behaviour based on the correct passenger loading logic, adjusted step altitude logic when cruise altitude is at or above or equal to the step altitude. Fix the bulk cargo door being openable and showing on MCU doors page if not installed, like on the A319. Fix the cockpit door being open when cabin visibility is turned off. Fixed empty aircraft weight discrepancies across various systems. SimBrief generated plans will now be accurate. Fixed connection status not working in ATSU. Various other bits as well. Inaccuracies in weight distribution, potential crash in VNAV code, passengers not being loaded correctly per zone, passengers showing already on board when first loading into the sim as an issue. Fixed broken vertical revision page, associate yellow star logic for altitude. Fixed clock chrono and ET not respecting pause or higher sim rates. Fix the yellow hydraulic steering not being disabled on the A321 and the TPIS option not working if the user has saved the settings in the EFB. And they've removed doors to left as a passenger exit on the A321, the GSX, which is what we spoke about the other day. Art and sound wise, they've optimised the CFM engine node count, reverted cabin hierarchy changes that broke some custom cabins but fixed the issue in code. Fixed text artifact on emergency electrical power panel. Fixed the light effect squares in incorrect locations, fixed emissive bleeds on the aircraft belly and the CFM rivet material, and the cabin door visibility when the cabin was hidden again. They fixed the missing glass from the A321 on the left 2, left 3 door windows. Fixed a retard issue with the logic and a call out. A321 tyre not having correct values, and fixed the drain mast. EFB wise, they fixed takeoff weights being incorrect in load sheets when using pounds, fixed centre of gravity, calculations being incorrect sometimes across all aircraft types, seat map issues, incorrect centre of gravity when boarding with GSX, fixed one passenger sometimes not leaving the aircraft for a long time, again that's a sync issue with GSX they've fixed, various other things as well like engine mode select typo in the approach checklist, and different formats of OFP. So if you don't use Lido, you use something else like the British Airways one or the Lufthansa type of SimBrief flight plan format, then that's been fixed now as well. Flight management stuff, adjusted A321 trim efficiency, adjusted A321 pitch moments, and they've gently adjusted the A321 elevator as well, so that might improve flare behaviour perhaps. Livery manager as well, they fixed the layout JSON not being regenerated after install in some cases, and they've fixed a little issue with the installer, which some people may have had. So quite a lot of things in the patch, more of a stability patch than a here's a whole load of new features, but actually a very nice stability patch from them. Doc edits, no, NV to DW sounds good. Keep it simple for your first one. So if you've got one runway and a handful of SIDS and stars to choose from at a simpler airport, then perfect. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Definitely avoid things like Heathrow and Gatwick for a little while you're new. Eric says flight was perfect, had full air traffic control from delivery at O'Hare to the oceanic clearance, then just chilled the rest of the way. That's amazing. So you've ticked off oceanic clearance as well. And yes, Eric, the suggestion, the guess, I guess, is that it's a Dreamliner, which will be fantastic. Anthony, hello, buddy. Good morning. Yes, we literally just reeled off all the changelog actually, about a minute before you tuned in. Welcome. Been with us for 27 months as a gold frequent flyer. Appreciate all the support. 25, almost there. Standard pressure on the box. Going to put the standby instrument to 1013 as well, because I've not done that. Tomorrow we are flying in a good old Thomas Cook livery, Airbus A321, and we're flying an old school route that I used to do to the wonderful island of Mytilene, also known as Lesbos. Hello there. Super fast 737. Oh, you know what we forgot to do as well? Unicom. Because we're out and away of the airspace. But yeah, we're going to be flying an old school Thomas Cook Airlines route with the Cook's Club livery. You guys know what that means. Oh, 35-ish going on 12. But yeah, had to use that one. We'll be flying that out of London Gatwick Airport. So we'll be flying an old MT My Travel route with the Thomas Cook livery out to the island of Lesbos, which is superb, and there's some very nice freeware scenery available for that Mytilene airport as well, which is stunning. So it's going to be a really good one tomorrow actually. I'm really looking forward to it. The only streams for this week, today, tomorrow, maybe Sunday as well. On Saturday I'm going to go and visit some new German Shepherd puppies. It's been a couple of months now since we lost our beloved Loki, and it's enough of a kind of hole in our family life that we're looking at getting a new one. We're just trying to work out names and things at the moment. We're thinking maybe Hondo. What's the list? Hondo, Odin, Barney, Chief, Goose. What else is there? They've got a few names. Logan, Dexter, Coda. But it's a big German Shepherd, so I personally like strong names. Yeah, Loki was named because he's a Nordic god, god of mischief, destruction. And I thought that was quite cool. Odin, of course, a Nordic god as well, Norse god. Patricio, thank you. Very generous of you. It's just gifted 5 channel memberships to some of you watching today. So if you've got that enabled in your YouTube account to accept gifted memberships, you're in with a chance to win during these streams when people do this. Welcome to Flying Dylan, Darren, Melinda, Eve, Killer, 66, Josh Fredder and Fernando de Valle. Welcome guys, you've all been gifted a channel membership for an entire month courtesy of Patricio, so thank you very much. Make sure you link your YouTube account into your Discord user settings, and you can join us in our club lounge for a month, like the members only area of our Discord server. Ian, so just call him Dave. Great laugh when you shout for him in the park and 5 blokes turn around. Yeah. Bernie, hello. Yeah, I've got massive anxiety about getting a new dog. I was actually looking at some rescues. There's a beautiful German Shepherd girl who's about 2 or 3 years old at the Dogs Trust. But it's a bit difficult getting a rescue, because when we were both at work, me and the missus, her parents look after our dog, so it's a little bit more complex for us to get a rescue if he's going to then potentially stay a few days, or she's going to stay a few days at her parents. Might be a bit much for a rescue, I don't know. So not really suitable, I don't think, for us, which is a shame. And there's a lovely Belgian Malinois crossed with a Border Collie, which looks phenomenal. But that's like the world's most intelligent breed crossed with the world's most active breed. So it's probably going to be a hell of a handful, which is again a bit of a turn off. Am I into Premier League football? Eric says no, I absolutely cannot stand it, unfortunately. I think they get paid far too much and they spend too much time screaming about somebody just tapping them. So, not a fan. No, yeah, exactly, Ian. So, it's a bit of a non-starter. But hey-ho, I'm sure those dogs will be snapped up pretty quickly anyway. 160. So not a massive amount of time to go till we get there. Just going to have a quick look-see. Jeez. Look at that Metal refresh at very good now. At National. We're away 1.9. Now gone to a 7 knot tailwind. Oh, well, I think that might be out of play then. What do we got? Current latest Papa 360 at 7 knots, 10 statute miles, visibility scattered 14,000, broken 20,000, temperature 28, dew point 21, altimeter 3011. Arrivals expect CVFP MTV1. I don't know what that means. ZVC MTV. Ah, Mount Vernon visual. That's the real ATIS telling us to do that one. That's the river approach, but it's not the river visual past the White House and things, so. Matthew, good morning. Flying Dealer says he was in Washington a month ago, departed Reagan to Boston, then did Boston to Paris with JetBlue. How was that JetBlue thing? The flight? It's fairly popular, isn't it? It's getting popular anyway. The maximum tailwind limit for takeoff is 15 knots. Maximum tailwind for landing for non-sharklet A319 is 10 knots.
Traffic.
Ah, chuffing it. Just climb straight to my path. Chuffing neck, David. Been with us for 40 months. Blimey. Thank you very much for all that support. So, let's just do the river visual anyway. It's a 7 knot tailwind, which is going to be one heck of a spicy approach, but hey, what's the worst that could happen, right? And then we'll depart the correct direction because it will be a departure which kind of heads off, and it's a bit of a tight flight left, I think, isn't it, down the river or something for avoidance of Washington and things. 40-month crew for commentator as well. Thank you, guys. Arrival Arnav Yankee 19 realistically, and the Clipper 3. What transition is it? I don't think there is a transition for it actually. Or transition MXC. So we'll put the Arnav Yankee in just as a bit of a fail-safe, and then we'll put in the data here from the ATIS. So the altimeter is 3011. Temperature's 28, rather nice temperature. And the wind's 360 at 7. Minimums 3,500 for the weather minimums. And I'm going to use the SimBrief landing performance calculator because I want to calculate this properly and I don't trust the Fenix one enough. Okay, auto brake medium. I'll do auto brake low and yeah, auto brake low and then manual braking to decelerate further. Alright, so that's all set. Ian, 43 months. Appreciate it. No, Dylan, they're not that off. We've had this conversation on our Discord server the other day, and Matthew, one of our channel members, is an Airbus captain, and he's ran the data with real data that's used by his airline, which is a major American airline. And basically, the SimBrief ones, the flex and everything else were more accurate, and the figures were more accurate, but the V-speeds in both the Fenix calculator and the SimBrief calculators were too high. Like the V1, V-rotate, V2, they were slightly too high compared to his real-world calculations that his airline uses. So he said the SimBrief one is actually a lot more accurate, comparable to his own real-life airline performance calculations of this company. But every airline uses a different performance data set. They might make tweaks based on the way they operate the airports they fly to and from, and all that kind of stuff. The cabin configurations and all sorts. But I've said for a long time the Fenix calculators are a right mess. Bearing in mind what we've just discussed, actually, let's just run it anyway. Landing weight 57.8. Actually 57.9 rounded. Lower brake, medium order brake, reversers, full flap. So that's saying we can do it. Put that back on there. Yeah, but Dylan, I'm not even convinced it works for the British Airways calculations, because I spend a lot of time sitting on the apron, driving around the airport at Heathrow, driving around the taxiways, all sorts of stuff, and I have never once seen an A319 like we had the other day in a flight that we did on the sim last week. We did Heathrow to somewhere, Heathrow to Bologna, I think, wasn't it? In the British Airways A319. And it gave us a flex of like 80, and we used most of the runway with an Alpha 4 intersection departure. That just doesn't happen at the airport at Heathrow. So British Airways, I've never seen them fly an A319 with that sort of flex and use that amount of runway. So it's just not right. And I can't pinpoint how or why, but just from everything I've seen, from watching hundreds of takeoffs across 2 or 3 months, it just doesn't match what my eye has seen, if that makes sense. So I don't know how they calculate it or what data they use, to be fair. $32, that's good. That's those Crikey, Flying Panda, that's going to be a bit stressful, isn't it? Yeah, Zato, we're just going to commit anyway. So we'll land with the tailwind. Was it definitely confirmed as being tailored for BA? Because I thought, obviously, the person who created this architecture, the software and the kind of tablet thing, was KT Works for BA, but I just didn't match everything that I've seen. So I thought maybe they had the takeoff data more akin to something like EasyJet. But like the flight to Bologna we did the other day, we had flex of 80 and we had like 100 passengers. We were really light, really light, and we used from Alpha 4 pretty much all of the runway. We rotated at the end of the touchdown zone on the other side. It just doesn't happen at Heathrow. Bearing in mind how long the runway is at the airport as well. It should have been more like a flex of 67 or something, I think. And SimBrief gave us a very different figure. It gave us, like, I think it was about 67 or something similar to that. So SimBrief's flex temps are a lot more accurate. But the V-speeds in both aren't quite the same as what American Airlines, for example, use in their performance calculations, from what we were talking about in our Discord server the other day. And you could go on for months and months talking about it, and people will still disagree with you. And it keeps asking for bloody flap 2 in this, always. But performance calculator aside, that's the only thing I get frustrated with this now. I absolutely love these. The A319, the 320 and the 321 are just remarkably good. And I'm absolutely loving all the work they've put into these because it's just spectacular. Canadian Flight Simmer, good morning to you. Hope you're well. Nicholas is asking when I'm flying the 777 next. I'm not sure. Maybe Sunday, but it depends on what we end up flying, what routes we do and all that kind of thing. Yeah, we've done the river visual loads of times on the channel before, Flying Dylan. We've not done it in about a year though. Eric, do I ever fly the CRJ? Again, that's another aeroplane that we've kind of neglected. It's supposedly having a big update around the end of September, which is going to fix a load of things and just kind of give the aeroplane a bit of a refresh. We'll probably then jump back into the CRJ because it is a good bit of fun. But there are too many great aeroplanes that I'm just enjoying a lot more at the moment. Apparently it is coming in September, the end of September, Electrox, along with the MSFS update for the ATR, because Hans created that as well. But I really like, well that was weird, I really like the CRJ. And it was actually my favourite aeroplane for a little while, wasn't it? How do I pick my routes, Bernie asks. Suggestions, really, more than anything else. So sometimes I'll look at something and go, you know what, I want to fly there. And then I'll do it myself. So tomorrow's live stream's route, I've picked myself, which is an old Thomas Cook flight, Gatwick to Lesbos. For the first time, actually. I've only just noticed it's a freeware scenery with some very good reviews. On flightsim.to, so I've downloaded that, got it all installed, and I'm looking forward to checking that out for sure. Our spacing is pretty poor today, folks. I'm not quite sure how we're going to sequence this. I think it's the worst spacing we've had in a while. Right, up the front, American 410, 1410. Betty, he's off to Reagan. We got right at the front actually, Badger, Osprey 919. He's in the 777. And Peter as well. Just having a little look around to see what we've got flying around us, but it doesn't look like anybody's flying into DCA before us. American 1410. Then us. United 1123. Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey in the Osprey Airways Boeing 777-300ER. Love it. Out of beautiful Boston. And the weather there is going to be getting worse through the day as well. Zato as well in the 777. Flying the vintage jets. And then we've got David. We've got Osprey 490. Space in there looks very good. French toast. That, I think, is all of us. Yes. And now quite a few other folks have just kind of jumped into Boston, which is quite nice. New York's on our left-hand side. Can't quite see it though because the weather's a bit pants. It does explain why my sim has started to go into like a bit of a meltdown. So it's kind of underneath all of this cloud. In fact, there is Newark, I believe. Just in that little pocket. Yeah, oh yeah, there's Newark. Darren, afternoon. Canadian Flight Simmer, how are you doing? Yeah, Dylan, Phoenix have said they're not doing a NEO. What does PUT and PI stand for? In what circumstance? Depends on the in the logbook. PI is pilot instructional, isn't it? PUT is pilot under training for a logbook. And PI, I think that's like pilot that's like instructional hours, but that'd be PUT anyway if you're instructional hours. I can't remember. It's been quite a few years since I had to fill out a logbook. Yes, instrument flying, Dylan. That'll be it. We're in live weather as well, so we've got that sun that's come up kind of in Boston. We're flying with the sun rising at the morning here on the eastern coast. Who is the one in front in the 737 that's zipped under me and climbed on top? Because I need to know what your ground speed is. And what approach you're going to be doing, so that I can then work out my spacing with you, because I've got to kind of do that sooner rather than later. But I've got somebody right up my chuff as well, right there, so I can't slow down. I'm getting sandwiched. Okay, David. He's got his slightly higher ground speed then. Megs, let's just have a quick check of these Clipper arrivals here. Nays, and then that discontinuity, which is there for a reason on the charts. Right, so yeah, that works. What do we want to be at Nays? Landing runway 1519 and 22. Not doing the LDZ. We are doing this. It's going to be 3,000 feet. Little tickle at the vertical revision page. Right, so on the charts, we are about to hit the MXE transition all the way up here. Medina's VOR 113.2, a little way still to run, but we're going to fly in by Nuggy. Troy's belay, Clipper down to 12,000, and then working down to Baltimore's VOR, flying over Baltimore's airport there, 10,000 feet, reducing the speed to 250 knots, and then working down to Eyes. Brunk isn't for us, so we are going from Eyes up to Edward, and then Meg's headed that way. So all of this here, this blue section, that's going to be like the Pentagon and Washington's, the White House, and all that sort of thing. So big no-fly zones there, and we've also got. We'll be working out to Nays, working down about 3,500 feet. From there, it's kind of hard to see here. Doesn't help kind of identify where we want to be, but Derek Gray's Rourke basically are going to come in over the bridge there, the American Legion Memorial Bridge at 3,000 feet, alongside that Naval Ship Research and Development Centre, and then we're just going to hand fly the whole thing around the river, nice and gentle, slow descent down to 1,800 feet over the Chain Bridge. We'll identify that Georgetown Reservoir there on the left. We want to be at 1,500 feet, and then over the three bridges, skirting the edge of the no-fly zone over the Potomac River, and then turning in tight over the Rochambeau Bridge to land on runway 19er. And as a reminder, we've currently got a bit more of a challenge because this isn't the active runway that's in use in real life. It's the opposite to that, in fact. We've got a 7-knot tailwind to fight for this. Now, I've done this before in the 737, which is just, it's remarkably fun. I absolutely love it, but yeah, it doesn't give us any visual options. And it's very hands-on, whereas this, by contrast, being a fly-by-wire system and a good old clever Airbus, it's actually going to be really easy. Canadian Flight Simmer says, I'm in the 777 approaching the west coast from Auckland. Very nice. That's a long flight then, crikey. Are you doing the Auckland to Los Angeles for a world flight? We need the CTAF frequency as well for local for DCA. It's 19.1. So that's all ready. San Fran, nice. Eric, yes. It gets complicated though for a question that if it's got like 3 tower frequencies, for example, if it's a massive airport like JFK. And it is just the US for now, Bernie, but there's a chance that in the near future this is going to be rolled out to the other countries that use CTAF, like Australia, for example. 3,500, we'll set that. 5 miles to go, that'll do. We'll head on down. Dylan says they've just confirmed that Canada and Mexico are the next divisions to get CTAF. There we go, lovely. I mean, what's frustrating is people still aren't using it properly in the States, and it's now been a trial for 8 months, 9 months, something like that. And I've even done a big video on it that not everybody's seen. Probably shut them out now, to be fair. I've had it open the whole time, thinking we could hear some more of those announcements. Got. Just trying to look at some of these. We've got 8 arrivals into DCA. Boston, 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 Boston. From Phoenix, just departing. Okay, good. So he's well out of the way. So we're in the clear. River Visual 19 with a 7-knot tailwind it is. I just like to see the GSX stuff, Dylan, and when I look back sometimes. This is a computer game after all, albeit a simulator. I'm not sure if the UK will get CTAF because it doesn't technically use it in real life. And I think if they did, with the airspace so tightly packed, I think they would probably need to actually maybe group regions instead, so you'd have different frequencies for group regions. So like the CTAF would be London control instead of 1228, or I don't know, but it just won't work in the UK, I don't think. I love how this one hasn't actually started descending yet. It's now 8,000 above. This, by the way, this livery by Javiation on flightsim.co, it's the same as the one in the livery manager, but that QR code right there actually takes you to the American Airlines maintenance book, which is insane. How they've done that, I do not know. Although, who knows if it's still active, I haven't tried. In fact, I'm going to get my Google Lens out and check it again. Stand by. Let's have a little look. See what it gives us. Search with your camera. Yeah, Tech Ops, American Airlines. Yeah, actually, yeah. But it says that please enter your American Airlines ID to continue, which is a shame. So it actually does go to their Tech Ops page, but you can't view the manuals. Well, Mido, don't forget you've got people right behind us now. You're ahead, so you've got to make it work. You've got to be ahead of me because there are 6 others behind now, and our spacing is such that it's too tight. So if you hold at Baltimore, it's too late because you're ahead. So you've got to stay ahead now. We'll watch. We'll watch you pull it off, Mido. Are you doing the River Visual 19? Yeah, if you enter that hold, then you'll be basically in that hold until 1, 2, 3. 3 aeroplanes have gone past. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aeroplanes have gone past. Maybe 6 before there's a gap big enough. If you enter that hold. But you're also very, very high. Admin and admin. Or admin, password, but instead of the S's you have 2 5s. Right, altimeter 3011. 3011. That's set. Seatbelt sign. It's weird, tilt doesn't do anything. So just turn it down to about 3. Tilt +1. Might as well turn it off. Yes, Dark Edits. Have a look on VATSIM-radar.com and it's really good. You'll basically be able to zoom in and see what airport you're going to fly from, like EGNV. You'll be able to zoom in and look at the stands to see if any are free. So before you log on, you'll be able to see, well, okay, they're free and the one I'm at is free. Bingo. Alrighty. Badge is getting the new METAR. There it is. Winds 350 at 7 knots. So we've got that 7 knot tailwind to contend with. 10 statute miles visibility, scattered 14,000, broken at 20, temperature 28, altimeter 3011. So it's a bit tough. We're flying to the opposite direction of the runway that's in use in real world. 28, 11, 0, 7, 350. That's 7. I'll just give that a little refresh. Just so we've got the latest data. 128 for the approach speed. We'll do full flat. Eric, yeah, precisely. So we'll have to configure like we do for Heathrow to Manchester and back. You've got to configure for the approach on the ground. Ah, Rayon, don't worry about it. Unless you want me to delete your flight plan. Let me know. So Clipper's coming up, 12,000. Decel point at Baltimore's VOR there, and 250 knots and 20 miles. And when we get on the ground, we'll start the disembarkation, the turnaround, and all that sort of stuff. We'll trigger all of those events using GSX, and then in that time, we'll also begin the pre-flight for the next sector back up to LaGuardia. which is going to be very exciting. There's about 4 hours total kind of live stream set of flying today. 4.5-ish hours. And even this in itself is quite a short sector. So Clipper at 12, we should pass that pretty much bang on, and the aeroplane should now automatically continue the descent, basically snap through 12, because it's got that managed altitude there. Let's see what it does. Bingo! Look at that. Nice. So it's just sorting out the VNAV profile again. The VNAV in this thing is so good. And Baltimore looks pretty good as well. Look at that. Got a little rainbow just off the nose on the right, under that cloud. Just about see it spotted, but and that big old intersection. Look at that. Jeez. Gee whiz. Oh, got 9 screenshots to put on there in Balanta. Whoopsie. Let's get these updated, uploaded quickly before we head on in. Washington, baby. Oh yeah, Bernie. Unless you've got the FSS E-jets, and then you will still wish you had VNAV. Seems 2 years later they're still crap. I might do a. I might buy an aeroplane, one of those external models like Captain Sim, and I might sort of package the default autopilot into it, and then release it in early access for £40-something, and then never complete it, because FSS have done that, and everybody's okay with it. Just thinking what aeroplane to release. 757. Yeah, default sounds, default autopilot. Yeah, A321 MCDU. Early access though, £45. It's early access French toast, so I'll fix it in maybe 2 or 3, 4 years, but I'm not sure when. Yeah, I know exactly, channel. Well, at least myself, and I've learnt recently as well, Captain Canada, we're the only 2 content creators shouting about it. Yeah, so frustrating. The more pressure people put on them, the more incentive they have to fix and finish their products. Because by contrast, I quite like their 727, but their E-jets are, in a polite way of putting it, crap. I could use it similarly. Long 4-letter words, but I'd get in trouble. But there's just no good way of explaining the progress of that thing. Yeah, me too, Clipper. Yeah, poop, Ian. Yeah, that's a PG way of putting it. Poop. How about a Boeing 707 exterior model? I'll sell it for 50 quid with an interior cockpit DLC for another 50 bucks, Arto. God, you've been taking a leaf out of Captain Sim's book. Chopping neck. Oh, bloody click spots in this thing. That will be the death of me, I tell you. There we go. That's one of my pet peeves with the Phoenix. As much as I love what they've done with this, it's phenomenal. The click spots are way too fiddly for me. 10,000, Baltimore, baby. Washington National Traffic, American 1413 said 10,000 feet, altimeter 3011 overhead Baltimore. VOR descending on the Clipper 3 arrival, and we'll be shooting the River Visual 19 approach. We'll report turning onto the Potomac National Traffic. Is there a click spot for trim? I can't find it to save my life. Oh yeah. If you hover over that and use your oh yeah. So no, there isn't. Oh, that's really odd. There is no click spot for trim. But yeah, you bind it with your yoke, then you'll get a thing, but there's no click spot for it. What have we got in front of us? Should be the Potomac. There's an army base. Just trying to spot it. It's here somewhere. We're gonna have the White House and all that here shortly visible. And that right on the nose, in fact, that is Reagan or National Airport, Washington National. That's the Pentagon over there somewhere, and there's the Potomac River. So we'll be kind of sweeping down that river, working over the bridges onto the final approach. Whoa, boink! There it is. There is sometimes a click spot, Flying Panda says. Interesting. Just about to see the roof of the White House. But yeah. We've got some good separation with Mido now. He's all the way up ahead, about 20 track miles. French Toast, have you got the charts, mate? Because you definitely need to review them. Recommended altitudes at certain bridges, for example, and that will help keep you on profile. Key Bridge recommended 900 feet, all that sort of thing. So that's what we're doing. But basically, track down the river manually, autopilot off. You'll be fine. Maybe the click spot is there after engines start, so you can set your takeoff trim, but after that you don't really need it, because the fly-by-wire system, you set the pitch and it holds it. So maybe there's logic behind that, there's a reason behind that, I guess. There she is. There's the White House. Just coming into the corner of the screen there. There's a couple of those bridges that we're going to be tracking along. And that there is the Boat Research Centre, which is the entry at 3,000 feet that we're going to be targeting. It's right on the nose now, in fact. Oh, Capitol Hill. There we go. Where's the White House? Matthew, welcome.
Traffic, Osprey 15 Whiskey, 20 miles south of Washington National by the Clipper's approach for the runway 19 river control. Osprey 15
Runway 1. Who put that up? But now I'm rapidly trying to find that pilot. North of the Washington Monument. You haven't turned that off, French Toast. You've got to turn that off in the ATC settings inside MSFS. Right, 19.1. Here we go. National Traffic American 1413 A319 altimeter 3011, descending 5,500 for 3,000 overhead megs on the downwind, expecting the river visual 19er approach. Will report turning final over the Potomac. National Traffic. Lights, signs, icing as required, order brake low, ground spoiler arms, that's set, flight deck doors locked, Missed approach is briefed, coming up to the discontinuities, so I'm just going to set heading mode to take it over. On vertical speed mode now as well for the profile. And don't forget we've got a 7 knot tailwind, so not ideal. In real life the current ATIS says they are using 0-1, but we are throwing ourselves in for the challenge today anyway on Unicom. I'm just extending a little bit, but I'm not going to go all the way to Naze. I'm just going to give him a bit of space and time there. We're going to go performance mode, approach phase activated. So we're going to decelerate to green dot. Just a gentle deceleration. Dark Edits, you'll be fine, matey. If you've flown the 737-600 a few times and you're comfortable with it, then have that confidence, mate. You'll be fine. Flying Panda, what number are you in the sequence? Starting the turn. Whoops. 3,000. Because I'm just trying to work out if they might clash with me or some of the others. Ah, bloody click spots in this thing. There's the river. You'll have to go pause it and go into the sim menu to do that, so you might as well just do it on the ground, because if you're descending now anyway, French Toast, you're going to be on CTAF frequency of 19.1 for DCA.
100 above. Minimum.
Autopilot off. Get the bird on. Yeah, David, what sequence are they? There's two behind me. It's the guy behind me going to the 0-1. Oh, bloody hell. It's going to get spicy then, isn't it? Okie dokie. Chance. Recommended 3,000. I'm looking for the Naval Ship Research and Development Centre. Just 3,000 roughly is what we're happy with. In fact, that is the Naval Research Centre there. So I've come in a bit tight. But actually, let's just bring it over. National Traffic American 1413 is 3,000 feet, final river visual, runway 19er. We'll report short final national. Laps 1. Gonna keep us near to about 3,000 again. I don't want to sink too much, but too busy trying to work out the sequence of this other guy now, so I'm getting very distracted. And I'll just start a gentle turn. We'll leave 3,000 for the missed approach. We're going to get that C chord layering off, so I'll just add 1,000.
Traffic on 15 Lima Whiskey, making a turn inbound
Lap
overhead
2.
Naze for the 01 visual approach.
1800 at Chain Bridge is next, so 1800 foot per minute.
Runway 19 river visual approach.
Gear down. The little dinky Airbus. We'll see what happens, David. Flap 3.
Ready traffic. Washington traffic. Osprey 8153 currently on
Just sorting out altitude and
extended
speed.
approach inbound days.
160.
Are expecting river visual runway 101. Correction 19.
I'll identify the bridge. Going to be that little one there. It's 1,800 around that point, so that's where we're at. We're going to go full flap now, 160 knots. Just want about 800 foot per minute roughly. And we'll call this short final. National traffic, American 1413, short final, river visual 19er. .600 foot per minute maybe that should do, maybe 500. Little dab on the stick, just to sort that out. I'm just going to wash off some of that a bit more now because we are a little bit low on the profile. Heavy equation, did this last night, didn't end well. What went wrong for you? Keeping it coming. 900 feet for the key bridge. Well behind in setup, heavy equation. Yeah, you do have to get set up nice and early in this. And it's also very confusing, to say the least, with the runway, because now you need to start identifying the runway, and that one there is 22, and a lot of people mistakenly go on that by accident. Little correction in the pitch. Can't drift too far to the left. There's the Capitol Hill and everything on the left hand side. Absolutely stunning. Two red, two white. Don't want to change that too much. Look at that. Quick screenshot while I can. Bit low there, it seems, even though I've got two red, two white. I'm not happy with that, so just sorting that out. So that little road there that we're just below really helps.
Traffic on Spray 15 Whiskey braking off approach to the east to allow inbound traffic 100 to land before receiving approach.
Ooh, tailwinds.
40, 30, 20, retard.
Schoffeneck.
5.
That tailwind is ruddy fruity. Right at the end as you're turning on final, then it just starts to scoop you. Okay, manual brakes. Woohoo! We've done it. It's been a while. Okay, just gently off on the brakes now. 297. Crikey. Yeah, a little bit of drift there. It kind of caught us with a bit of crosswind as well. God, that got spicy real fast. And National Traffic American 1413's vacating 19er. Yeah, we've got one on short final. Crossing runway 422 National. You know what, I was on the verge of binning that and going around. Gently on the brakes.
American 1410, stand Alpha 10. Alpha 7, sorry.
National Traffic American 1413 is clear of all runways. Delta 5 or Charlie 31, Doc says, so we'll go for Charlie 31. Great fun in this. You know what? I'm not really following where I'm going here because I'm too busy enjoying the views. David's going for 01 as well, it seems. Where are we? Where the heck is Charlie 31?
Boston traffic, Osprey 8153, inbound Zarek at 3000.
Ah, got it.
River visual, runway 19, we will call over the Potomac.
Wash some of that speed off. Say wash some of the speed off, I accidentally just pumped the brakes. Hoping that people are stood up in the back, because if I have, they've sent them flying. That's Bravo. That's where Microsoft Flight Simulator expects us to park by the looks of it. Maybe. We're going up here. Who's Osprey 8153?
Traffic Osprey 8153, slowing down to minimum of
Oh, there we go. Zato. Yeah, just commit. And Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey, turn in with him. And do a land after, if that makes sense. So even if the runway's not completely clear, if you know you can stop in time, put her down anyway. Otherwise you'll have Delta 891 coming up your chuff as well, and American 490 doing his own thing, causing issues with the sequence. 34. Yeah, so turn in and fly with him, I reckon. He'll be fine. $33. $31.
Traffic Osprey 15 Whiskey, resuming approach, following the company Osprey 8153 on the river visual for 19.
Wow. Her arms went up really fast then. Sure. Jeez.
8153, overhead direct, overhead the river, on the river visual, runway 19, will call 5 miles.
Alright, so they're going to get the troops off. And what's the bet? Whoever it was that was using 01. Well, they've now vanished, oddly. Well, so what's the bet they're using Unicom 1228 still?
Passengers reporting started.
Oh, that's the one that people get confused with, sorry. 15, not 19. Oh, weird. I can't see the United. Maybe they've gone offline, I don't know. They're not on the ground anyway. Oh, there he is. He's vacated and landed quick. Alrighty, so we'll just get ourselves in position to spot some of these other landings. Zato should be in momentarily, I think. And we won't see him until the last minute, I don't think, in reality. What is that? Oh, it's the world's biggest church.
Whiskey, inbound,
There he is.
19 river visual, 10 miles.
So quickly go on New Sky, we'll close the score, see what we got. We may have been penalised for the tailwind landing.
Traffic Osprey 8153,
Little profit.
short final runway 19.
Yeah, off centreline landing, fair enough, that was my fault. I got caught by that crosswind at the end. You can zoom in there and you can see the visual that we did. So working down that river and then turning in nice and smooth on final there. Looking pretty good, happy with that. Not a bad score at all. And while we watch the 777s come in now, because they're next, I will begin to prep for the next sector. Where were we? We're at DCA. DCA. Off to La Guardia. Whoa. Keep it turning, don't ease off. That looks tight. He's done it. And this is where the tailwind really catches you. Zato, you'll be able to let us know how you get on with this one right at the end. Because it got quite spicy for us. You see there he's fighting the tailwind as well, actually. You watch the tail strike. Whoa! 15 Lima Whiskey, you'll be fine, mate. Plenty of space there. Nailed it. 777-300ER. Look at that for a tailwind and a crosswind now. Ready to catch us all out. Very fun. Exciting. There is 15 Lima Whiskey. Keep turning. Don't get tricked by runway 15 here either. So, look how tight that is. We're right on the runway. 900 feet at that point. And you've got those final two turns.
8153, vacated runway 19.
DC traffic, Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey on show final for 19.
Information Alpha, welcome mate. How is it going for you? Doing well on my side, thank you. 19-1 French toast. Jeez. Whoa, not turning. Oh, he's got tricked by 2-2, I think. Oh, he might have. He's recovered this nicely. Tailwind's catching him out as well, like it did us. Beautiful touchdown, though. Very nicely done. Now he's just got to stop in time. Easily done with those powerful brakes. Nice work. How many others have we got coming in? $13.50. That's too far away in the distance, actually. KDCA. We've got one coming in on 01 now, right, David? That's the one, isn't it? No, I don't want a deboard crew. KLGA 319. $13.35Z. Just building the next route, folks. And what we'll do this time is we'll follow the correct ATIS, which is departing runway 1 and 3, 3 and 4. So we'll have a look to see which one's got the best views and the spiciest departure to hand fly, and we will do that. I'll bring up the charts in a Wemo and have a little look. Altitude is only 18,000 feet, so this is effectively the equivalent of the Heathrow to Manchester hop now that we're going to be doing. What have we got here? SIDS. Doctor 5. Right, okay, yeah, we'll do 01. Is it 01? Yes. Yeah, we'll do 01 for the departure, and that has us then fly back up over the Potomac. So 18,000 feet. Just generating the route. Fenix, big old 777 there. Right, so we need to pull out our next route, so import next flight. About 20 minutes to push. That's tight, isn't it? Load aircraft, GSX. And while that's happening, I love direct translations. That's the one, basically a river visual departure, yes. So we are now going to be American 1237. Doctor 5. Auto ATC, that beeping there says Squawk 0501. Done. Definitely want to reset that rudder trim. I feel like people are still flying on Unicom because we're not getting any comms from anyone else at the moment. And there's definitely people on final. We've got one on final right there in the distance as well.
National traffic, Delta 8911, send off final, runway 19 by the river approach, national traffic.
Cruise altitude 18,000. So we're not even going to go out of Q&H stuff. So that's done. Don't need to do that. We need to re-import the new winds. Yeah, I think so, David. Telex. Ooh. Wait for boarding. Seatbelt signs are off for the refuel. We'll leave external power disconnected. Wind data's uplinked. Where's the plane? Still on final. No worries, Arto. Have a good night, matey. So on the flight plan then we're going to have DCA departure 01 Doctor 5. I read that Zagadoo then. Zagadoo. Transition a guard, and then we pop that into the box. Like so. LaGuardia, need the ATIS for that.
National traffic, Delta 891, final approach, runway 19 national traffic.
Information Yankee, 080 at 13 knots. There's the real ATIS in the chat, 3020 for LaGuardia. ILS runway 4 approach in use, landing runway 4, departing runway 13. Winds are 080 at 13. See if we can spot, there he is, another one final. Is it runway 31 that's got the river visual? Oh, it's 13, isn't it? River visual 13. Oh no, it's the park visual 31. That's what I was thinking of. I'm trying to think which is a bit of a snazzy one to do at LaGuardia. 31 is too much of a tailwind. Can't do that. We could do runway 13 with the river visual. What did it say on the ATIS? I forget. Landing runway 4. To be fair, the ILS for runway 4 looks pretty swish. Delta A330, nice. Tailwind's catching in there. Good test of the metal there. Bang on the touchdown zone. Beautifully done. Nice effort. Christ, that's really good. Nice work. I think we might have another one on final now. Not sure.
Traffic, American.
Hey, David. Read the notes on 4. Which bits of notes?
American 110, Troy, final runway 1.
I mean, it's going to bring us in right over Manhattan, which will be... Well, Manhattan's there, isn't it? That's all this. Oh no, it's not. Manhattan's this. So we'll get good views. Or, if we want it to be a bit spicy, runway 13 is still a possible. And we could do... Where has it gone? It's not going to give me the option on Navigraph, is it? Of course not. Why would it do? The River Visual 13. Remain over the Hudson River until starting turn to final north of Central Park. Expect 4,000 until it being the Statue of Liberty, or 3,300 when authorised by ATC. So it'd be like we fly over the Statue of Liberty, then all the way up the Hudson, and then we turn final. So that could be a possible. Note number 1. Autopilot coupled approach not authorised. Ooh. Which basically means we hand fly the ILS. So that's still a visual approach. That sounds fun anyway. Let's put in the bits. So ILS 04, Proud 2 arrival. And we don't want to transition. You just want straight up to final. Doctor, discontinuity, let's wipe that off. Eno, Skippy, Proud, and then manual, Rahel, Dennis, perfect, that matches the charts as well. We'll leave that discontinuity in fact, no, we can clear that as well, to be fair. Not allowed. Fair enough. We shall leave it in then. David's coming in. Just going to sort out our next flight on New Sky as well. Start this flight. Almost all the passengers on board as well, nice. So we've got 10 minutes to push back, which should have enough time just for everybody to be on the ground. And then we'll just work into that 10-minute window so that we can give everybody a chance to set their jet up. Oh yeah, we'll clear the manual first. Good spot. David's coming in, looking nice. Willie Canuck, welcome buddy. Good afternoon, or good morning to you, potentially. Dark Edits, have a look at chartfox.org. You should be able to sync your VATSIM account with that and get some free charts and things. Oh. Tailwind's going to be kicking in real strong now for David. That weather's getting worse here at the Guardia. It's caught it nicely, fighting it well. Challenging conditions here. Nice. Amazing effort given the conditions. Good effort, mate. Nicely done. Which one's us? There we are. Matthew, is that you on the right hand side then? Although I think you said a minute ago it'd be a US Airways livery, but they don't have it in model matching for some reason. I'm going to refresh the Volanta overlay for you folks. American 1237 for this next sector, into the Guardia. So tomorrow when we fly the A321 we're going to have the new Fenix A321 update with a lot of the tweaks that we mentioned at the start of the stream today. Some of the flight control behaviour, optimisations and stability fixes and things. So that's going to be quite fun, and it'll be quite interesting to see what they've done to things like flare, if it's affected the flare in any way and improved that, because that's quite tricky. It's a bit messy in that aeroplane. Alpha Whiskey Echo 2110. What's the call sign for US Airways? Cactus, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, actually. Oh, it says call sign USA on there. Now we're going to have a little look at our performance calculations. Probably 1992 loaded, still got a bit of cargo left, so we can't do that just yet, actually, in fact. So just going to sort out the meters, runway 01, optimum, flex, temperature, dry. But we can use our preliminary data, packs on, sync live weather, calculate. And then we're going to just throw that into the MCVU, like so. Can't do that just yet. So, again, looking at the sim brief performance calculator by comparison to this, with improved climb calculation disabled for today. Order complete, lovely job. That's what the Fenix calculator has given us. By comparison, it's on the SIBRIEF performance calculations, it's given us a V1 of 122, rotate of 122, V2 of 124, which seems much more logical, and a flex of 67. So a big difference in the two. NADP 1, so 15, 12. The 3012, 1512. And that's boarding complete, which means we could probably now bring that final load sheet in. And again, it commits to it. Flex is 75. Not a fan of it. Send to MCDU for the load sheet finals. So that will then populate the init B page like so. And in the received messages, we should have load sheets. Juicy. So init A, init B, performance page is done. We'll turn our attention once more to the flight plan. Departure was good. We need to remove that manual section there. Which will allow us therefore to clear the discontinuity and connect the dots up straight onto final 04. Okay, so because this is a short sector, this is like the version in the States of Heathrow Manchester, then we are looking at potentially, we're configuring for the arrival before we've departed, because it's a short old flight. Runway 01 for takeoff, so we're going to push start, taxi all the way down. Kilo, Charlie, crossing runway 4, down to hold bay 1, effectively where that Juliet marker is, to get that full length of runway 01. from there, so there's the runway layout at Washington. We're going to head outbound on runway 01, following the Potomac River and that line there out up to Revg, or Revg, and then working up the Potomac River, climbing up through the SID there to Dogue, max 250 at 4,000 before heading eastbound all the way up to Doctor at or above 5,000, and then we head out to the Agard transition that way. Top altitude of 5,000, which we'll put on the FCU. And then from there we'll basically climb through, but that's a long time to stay at 5,000 feet. It's like, what, 20, 35, 40, 45 miles at 5,000 feet. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to hand fly up the Potomac to a few thousand feet, ticking off the waypoints as we go. And then from there we'll pop the autopilot on at some point up the river, and then we'll continue the climb straight up to 18,000 feet. And then as we get closer we'll be joining in via Hertz, I think, or Gordon. Let's have a little look. Speak, waypoint Speak. There. So we'll be joining the star from here, working into Smyrna's VOR, ENO. Just draw that little line there to connect into the Proud 2 arrival, like so, and then working down. But you can see there, Skippy, for example, between flight level 190 and 220, we're at 18,000 feet, so we will just maintain that. And then our top of December will be moments after that, or pretty much around Skippy, where we'll then head into Bessie at 17, Edger down to 13, Davies 13, Holy, Brand, Corrie at 10, Deputy Tykes working into New York at Proud, just prior to which we're effectively going to want to be about 4,000 feet at Proud, and then at Beng, just at final there, we'll have to turn the autopilot off, 3,000 feet. A little step down to Rahel at 1,800, and again another little step down to 1,700 at Dennis for the glide slope, which starts there. A little bit of drain avoidance, look, in a few areas, and it also says there, crossing runway threshold below the chartered TCH may not provide required visual area obstacle clearance. Going below glide path may not provide obstacle clearance inside the DA. So, working up. We've got to go back off track FPA, and flight directors come back on. So heading BS tells us that. We're good there. That's all set. They're all on. He's got his switch ready. In fact, we don't need that. We can just... Oh, look at that. Right to the minute. Seatbelt signs on. Beacon lights on. $19.92 for the fuel. There goes the jetty. 1 minute to go. Oh, precision. It's a bit of a shorter sector, this. Oh, chuffing neck. 121.7. Ground's just come online. Literally as we're pushing.
KEX 2110, cleared to Guardia, Doctor 5, departure AGAR transition outside Block 6, Block 561, departure checks completed.
KEX 2110, current cruise next deck runway 1D Washington, altimeter cruise.
Matthew says, be careful, you're going to tick off some people by pointing out that both me and V1 simulation agree that the Simbury takeoff data is more accurate. I know. Who would have thought it? Thanks. I was deep in charts and everything else, David. Sorry, Panda. Information Alpha. Washington Ground, good afternoon, American 1237. Information Alpha, and which stands at 29, request clearance to LaGuardia.
American 1230, down in Washington Ground, deep for voice clearance or KDC.
Voice clearance, please, for American 1237.
American 1237, roger, clear to La Guardia, Dr. Flight departure, AGAR transition and south. Unlisted, departure stop line, squawk 0501.
Cleared LaGuardia, Dr. 5 departure, mission climb 5000, and guard transition, squawk 0501, American 1237.
American 1237, reback correct, you can call me for push to Washington now, altimeter 3012, and you can expect 131.
Oh, okay, we're ready for push now, please. We've got altimeter 3012 and roger for 01, American 1237.
American 1237, roger, you gonna push into the alley or on the taxiway?
Which would you prefer? Oops.
Honestly, either, because, yeah, no, you cannot do the alley.
Roger, I'll push into the alley, I'll give it a go, American 1237. How am I going to pull this off?
Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey at stand 14. Request IFR clearance to LaGuardia with information out.
Because I don't think...
Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey, Washington ground, there's an altitude restriction to LaGuardia, flight level 210, is that okay?
Facing
Roger,
east
yeah, that's okay.
on apron.
Roger,
I'm assuming that's a 1. We're about to find out.
Clear to the LaGuardia Airport, Dr. 5 departure,
Pause the music. Let's see if we got this right. Erin says his FMC keeps telling him unable 220 at Red G, not capable of going that fast or that slow. It depends on what's before and around it, to be fair, mate. Oh, Tapsi's released the A319 and A321 liveries.
A-guard transition.
Yes, yeah, A-guard transition. Roger, that's where we'll find Lima Whiskey.
15 Lima Whiskey, thank you, reback corrected, expect runway 1.
Up 04.
Expect runway 1.
I hope I pull this off, because if I do, if I've chose the right option, the controller hopefully is going to be very pleased.
1239 request IFR clearance to LaGuardia, information Alpha on board, stand 7.
American 12,
beautiful!
Ground, there's an altitude restriction to LaGuardia, flight level 21.
Custom pushbacks in GSX are so key.
Yes.
We look like absolute pros.
39.
American 1239, roger.
So a couple of minutes behind schedule, but it's fine.
Departure, A-guard, transition, NFL.
The real route's meant to depart in about an hour.
Third departure is offline, squawk 1357.
American 1239, Dr. 5 departure, France AGAR, squawk 1357.
Frank Schauffer, just double check at climb via this bit, but otherwise reback correct, so you can expect runway 1.
Runway 1, American 1239.
He's probably watching in the background thinking, you know what, I'm not going to come online just yet because they're all flying the river visual.
Texas 2110.
Hot brake set.
Like that 2110, push your own discretion, you can call it for taxi.
Push our discretion, get
No pressure. That is a real Airbus pilot, Captain, right behind us. Flying along with us today. It's Matthew, it's been a long time. I think the last time was DCA, wasn't it? And you pointed out why it's called National Pilots instead of Reagan.
American 1239.
Washington ground, American 415 stand 33, IFR to LaGuardia, HS information, Alpha.
Right, so what do we got here? After start, then we'll set up 0.4.
Radar for some reason.
I'm at Reagan.
Okay, let's need to double check. That's quite weird then. What's standard?
Cool, that's set. We're going to go ground spoilers, armed, ignition mode norm, rudders reset 0, flaps 1, Transponder 0501, that's good, that's set.
Ground 1 Amo American.
Water brake
1191
max,
taxi.
5,000 for the FCU. Water brake APU bleed off. And APU off.
1191 runway.
Pop that on.
Let's see.
Pop the taxi lights on. Flight control checks fully left. Back to neutral.
Taxi straight ahead, showing
Right.
Juliet, and then
Back to neutral.
just taxi all the way down, hold short of runway 4 for now.
Let's do the
Straight ahead, we'll join Juliet
elevators.
and we'll taxi all the way down.
And
sort of
the
4,
rudders.
American 1191.
It goes back to 415. Would you mind try reconnecting? Maybe that won't work.
We'll do.
Actually, no, you don't have to. I see you now. Oh, never mind.
American 1237, request taxi.
American 1237. Runway 1, taxi by Kilo, hold short of Kilo 2.
Taxi runway 1 by Kilo, hold short Kilo 2, American 1237. Kilo.
American 415, I guess you're back now.
Sorry, say again?
You actually appeared right when I told you to do that disconnect, so I see you now if you want voice or PDC.
Around we go. And taxiing on idle quite happily here. Eric, have a little look to see, make sure you're not on observer mode. It might be that you know when you log in and you've ticked shared cockpit, that's like an invisibility mode.
Ground taxi 110, ready to taxi.
I guess 2110 runway 1 taxi via Kilo 1 Juliet, hold short Kilo 2.
Take off
Runway 1 via
tax.
Kilo 1 Juliet, short Kilo 2 American. Cactus 2110.
American 1191 cross runway 4 at your own discretion at Juliet, and then you can join Juliet, hold short runway 1.
Alright, we'll cross 4 on Juliet. We'll continue Juliet to hold short 1, American 1191.
American 1237, make down F Kilo 2 Kilo, and you can cross 4 at your own discretion, and you can hold short up 1 at Juliet.
Continue Kilo 2 Kilo at cross 04 at discretion, or hold 01, 1237.
1237, just double check you have a squawk mode Charlie on.
How's it showing for you now?
Perfect, thanks.
The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Right, so
Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey, ready for push and start.
oh, you know what? I've gone wrong here.
Osprey 15 and whiskey push back onto Kilo Spirit, face south.
Push back onto Kilo approved, face south, Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey.
American 1237, Washington ground.
Yeah, do you want me to go right and left? I've realised I'm on Juliet.
I know, it's just curious if that aircraft I wasn't seeing. Was he watching your stream by any chance? Because I had an aircraft not appearing on my radar, and he was going to Guardia as well, so I was just curious if he was on your stream at all.
What stands he at? I'll have a look.
Well, he's disconnected now, but he was, I couldn't see him, and then I told him to disconnect, and he appeared right when he disconnected, so I was just curious if he was on your stream.
I'm not sure, to be fair.
Right, no worries.
I thought I was going to get told off for being on the wrong taxiway.
That was 2 aircraft, Cactus 2110, you can continue taxi runway 1 via Juliet, cross runway 4 at Juliet.
Taxi 1 on Juliet, cross 4 on Juliet, taxi 2110.
And there was another aircraft calling call, Panama.
Ground speed 14,
American
crossing
11,
4, strobes on, approach paths clear, for 2-2.
American 1, sorry, say again.
looking good.
American 111, request to
That's all on.
Guardia, level 170.
American 111, cleared LaGuardia. Actually, stand by. American 1191 tower south.
Nicholas, it's linked in the live chat in the stream description. I think it's Drzeki Designs.
American 1237 1 0 off 40 frequency change approved here.
Decimal. Yeah, we'll go frequency change approved. Thanks to the KDCA, American 1237. Bye.
Yeah. American
1191 taking runway 1 will be on the dock.
19-1 for the CTAF. We'll just leave the strobes on, we'll pop them out the belly for now, because it's easier. And then just gently on the brakes to slow us down a bit. National Traffic American 1237 is holding Juliet runway 01 behind. National Traffic American 1237 via Juliet, lining up behind 01 to wait. Just said line up and wait, 01. Okay, that's good, that's good. That's all set. Just try and extend as much of this as we can before we make a sharp turn. All the way around. Maximum deflection on the nose wheel. Get us turning tight. Runway 1. So we've already briefed the departure. We're basically going to hand fly up the Potomac River as we briefed before, but the aeroplane's just taken off there. We need to make sure he's got enough separation from us. Lights, signs, everything's good. Trim's all set. Should be more than enough. Make sure I've got my charts ready. I can see him there on the TCAS. $5 miles should be enough. That'll be about 2 minutes. National Traffic American 1237 is taking off 01, Dr. 5 departure, National Traffic. Order on the brakes. Didn't hear the clicks then, interestingly, for the gates.
National Traffic Active 2110.
They're in the flex gate though, that's good. Speed to life, power set. Just holding on the brakes for a bit just to try and get the engine spooled up nicely. We use quite a bit of the runway as well. Come on. Big crosswind. V1 rotates. There's the windsock. V2. 3 degrees per second. Keeping the rotation going. Follow the flight director. Positive rate. Gear up. Still following the flight director. And chasing it down the Potomac. We'll just do this first phase with autopilot off, hand fly the aeroplane, just to show you guys actually it's easier than you may realise. Got to keep it tight and precise because of the Pentagon and everything else around us. Have a quick look outside, capture that for a screenshot, very good. back to the flight deck. And then we'll follow the river to the left. You can kind of see we're going to do there, leave a climb into the climb gate. I've just preempted the turn here already. You see now the flight director's starting to match. And that makes it a bit smoother.
National traffic X 110, taking off X, national traffic.
Alright. Oops. Autopilot 1 is what we want. Let's clean her up. So flaps up, ground spoilers disarmed. Legs. Keep climb. 18,000. Accelerating away. So quite a short hop now in comparison. The other one was a shortish hop anyway, but yeah, by comparison this is even shorter. And their full flap, auto brake low, is sufficient for this next sector into LaGuardia. And we've got a 9-knot crosswind in minimal VFR conditions for LaGuardia. There you go, Badger's put the METAR in the live chat for us. So that's the current weather at LaGuardia in New York, 070 at 13 for the winds. 10 statute miles visibility broken, 2,900. Broken at 5,000, overcast at 15,000 feet, altimeter 3020, the temperature there 23 degrees Celsius. Supposedly going to get slightly worse as well, but we'll find out when we get there. We'll get through 6.9, so we're just going to get ready for Unicom. Can't see the screen because of the glare, just wait a second. There we go. 1228. Turn all the lights off there and the seatbelt signs can come off as well, like the Manchester service. Get everybody released in the climb. Nice 15-minute gap with the chap in front. And we can then get our head down in the box to get ready for the approach. John A, welcome. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. At 013. Transition level stays the same, and the ILS approach minima 283. Barrow. Done. Matthew says I might hand fly the whole thing. Shall I hand fly the whole thing, folks? What do you reckon? Apart from the bit we've just done. Got speak there. Oh, there's speak. It's interesting because the KBOS don't seem to be doing anything in this today. Mighty weird, because they're auto tuning, but I'm not getting the readouts. Might be a livery thing, a configuration thing on the aeroplane, perhaps. What do we want? 13.1. The Guardia. 110.5, LGA 045 inbound course. I'll leave that, but the charts say 044. Yeah, the other VOR isn't really doing anything. Big thanks to everyone who's hit the like button so far today. Lots of people enjoying the streams. Good to see as always. MPS welcome mate says about temperature for him in Sweden near Gothenburg it's 28 degrees Celsius, but there's going to be a lot of thunder tonight for them. Oh, we've had really humid conditions here in lovely Oxfordshire. Very, very humid conditions, to be fair. Mach decimal 60 and 286 on the managed speeds, Matthew, for descents. Nice effort, Canadian Flight Simmer. John, hello mate, thank you. Thanks for the ATC. This is flashing there for transition altitude, but how far have we got? What, 18,000? Would we go to transition? I suppose we would at this, because we're at transition. Let's go to it anyway. Give it a little press again just to re-sort itself out. Hey Badger, thanks buddy. It's just gifted a channel membership for one of you watching today, and it's gone to Dougal McTavish. Nice work. Dougal, you've got a channel membership for a month courtesy of Badger. Appreciate the generosity there, matey. Thank you very much. Dougal, welcome on board for the next month. Eric, that is your first or second VATSIM flight, wasn't it? So, yeah, these things are going to happen. Don't worry about it. Don't let it put you off, most certainly. The controllers are here to help you out. It might seem like you're under a bit of pressure while it's happening, but they are trying to just work out how to advise you in relation to your connection and all that sort of stuff to try and make it simple. And it's harder when you're doing it with a stream going on as well, because there's a bit of added pressure there of being visible and people hearing you. I get that. Don't worry about it too much. 65 miles top descent. Flying Panda says, what approach are we looking at for LaGuardia? We mentioned it on the ground. It's this one. The Proud 2 RNAV arrival, speak transition, and we're going to be doing the ILS runway 04 approach straight onto final. So working Proud, then vectors, straight onto the ILS 04. But, as Matthew pointed out, look at the notes. Number 1, autopilot coupled approach not authorised. So we'll fly the ILS, but this is an autopilot off ILS approach. So we'll fly the diamonds ourselves and work it all out, because I would imagine its vicinity to JFK, all the other stuff going on, Manhattan, obstacle clearance, everything like that makes it a bit tricky. But yeah, what? Real flying? Yeah. Yeah. We'll go 2 for 2. Matthew says Southwest nearly hit the tower because of that note, allegedly. My goodness. Oh, actually, I think I remember reading about that. Because they had to hand fly the approach, but they got it so wrong, they almost hit the tower. There's the current ATIS on the VATSIM network on the screen. Keep mode Charlie on your transponder on all taxiways and runways. ILS runway 4 approach in use. AJ Fernandez says apparently they came within 67 feet of the tower. My goodness. So is it an offset approach? No, it's not. Rumour is they had it on autopilot and the signal. Oh my goodness. So they didn't read that note. The rumour is. Southwest 147 AJ Fernando, that's the one. Yeah, it says here, 5 months ago, wind shear dangerously deviates Southwest 147 during a landing attempt at LaGuardia. It was on its second attempt to land when the aircraft came within feet of hitting the tower. 67 feet. Southwest under investigation after buzzing the LaGuardia control tower within 67 feet of collision. March 23rd, 2024, Southwest Flight 147 from Nashville to LaGuardia encountered severe weather, including wind shear and turbulence, and came within 67 feet of colliding with the airport's control tower. The flight, carrying 147 passengers and 6 crew members, was forced to abandon its initial landing approach around 1 PM due to inclement weather that drastically affected its flight path. During the flight's first approach to 04, pilots executed a go-around at 11:46 AM, prompted by an excessively high speed attributed to a tailwind, like we almost had to do in Washington National actually. Further complicating the situation, the aircraft, Boeing 737-800, registration November 8554 X-ray, deviated to the right and ended up not aligned with the runway. Air traffic control at LaGuardia urgently instructed the pilots to climb to 2,000 feet and prepare for another landing attempt. The second attempt at 12:01 PM also resulted in a go-around after the controller observed the plane was significantly east of the final approach path, making a safe landing on the runway impossible. Flight tracking data and reports from the scene indicate the Boeing 737 came perilously close to the LaGuardia air traffic control tower with as little as 67 feet of clearance, raising concerns about the safety of those on board and on the ground. The FAA have launched an investigation into the incident, focusing on how the aircraft veered off course. Following the dangerous deviation, the flight crew diverted to Baltimore 40 minutes later, landing safely. That'd have been a rather harrowing version of air crash investigation, wouldn't it? But yeah, they didn't get clearance from the air boss. Yes. Probably have to call the ball for LaGuardia for this. But yeah, I can't. Maybe I can actually. If I draw a box, hide this bit. Oh, that's not very good. There we are. Autopilot coupled approach not authorised. So you can't fly this on autopilot, even though it's an ILS, because of signal interference. And that's probably, as Matthew says, where they've gone wrong then, as the rumour goes. Eric says there, apparently autopilot ILS isn't allowed on 04 because of the proximity of the highway and the semis messing up the lock signal. I wonder if it's proximity to JFK, which is here, and then you've got Newark there, and you've got Manhattan here, and the semis with the freeway that are there. I wonder if all of that combined, plus LaGuardia VOR, the Canarsie VOR, the Kennedy VOR, I wonder if all of it just plays havoc. Combined. Yeah, alright Eric, yeah, let us know. You'll find out. But in fairness, I don't think Microsoft Flight Simulator has the signal interference coded in, so it will probably work in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Rikers Island jail at the end of the runway as well that could interfere, Clipper says. Possibly. We've got LaGuardia ground. And they are running info Charlie. So, what have we got? Proud 2. ILS 04. And we want about gate 16, roughly. It's only 196 nautical miles this. Probably one of my favourite routes in the sim, like kind of this little coupled hop. Centurio thought of it actually the other day, so big thank you to him. Matthew says LaGuardia is just junk, that's the answer. Terminal is now quite nice, but that's where it ends. I'm surprised they haven't expanded like Newark and then shut LaGuardia down. Everyone says the best way to depart LaGuardia is to fly from JFK, Umato says, from the movie Sully. So what do we want Proud at Benga 3? Top of descent now. We've got Rahel 18. Proud at 2,300. Really? Where's Proud in relation to that then? Oh yeah. So really want Apple at about 3. So that's the VNAV looks pretty good there actually. Yeah, we've not done Newark for a little while actually, Clipper, to be fair. I'll just set 3 for continuous descent all the way down, and altimeter 3020. Yeah, it must be horrendous, AJ Fanani, which makes you wonder what the point of having an ILS is, but I suppose they might need it for the categorisation of the airport, perhaps. So they can say they've got an ILS, but they tell everyone you can't use it because of signal interference. Okay, let's start it down. Three 0, 2-0. Set. So another hand-flown approach for us to top off today's 2-sector day. Don't forget, tomorrow we're flying London Gatwick to the island of Lesbos in the Fenix A321 with a new update that launched just as the stream was starting, in fact, today. So we'll be checking that out tomorrow during the stream, having a look at some of its differences and the tweaks that they might have made. And from there as well, we'll start to investigate and look into the... while we're decelerating, let's have a quick look here. More drag. We'll leave it, we'll be fine. Got miles to go. Go 270, speed select. Officer Oki, good to hear, mate. Nice work. Water brake low. What was I saying? Yes, tomorrow we're flying Thomas Cook Airlines in the Cook's Club livery. You'll see the thumbnail for it. I've done a special one just for tomorrow. I'll set that up after today's live stream ends. So it's going to be about 4-ish, 3.5-hour flight tomorrow out of Gatwick to the island of Lesbos with that freeware Mike Delaney's scenery, which is utterly stunning. Short runway as well, with a big displaced threshold, so the usable landing length isn't that long for tomorrow's flight into Lesbos. And another Greek island that we can tick off, which we're looking forward to. We're flying the A321 as well, just to keep it a little bit sportier. Wind 06011 now at LaGuardia. Clouds starting to drop, but not anything difficult, to be fair, for us to deal with. But it's still ILS with runway 14 in use, altitude 3021, according to the real world ATIS. I wonder if the real... yeah, they haven't quite caught up yet. Oh no, yep, that has updated. Little tickle more of a crosswind. I'm going to now bring this onto 245. I think it was kind of sitting at its decel point there, so it could manage the descent and then hit Corrie at the right speed at 10,000, because we need to be below 250. But that, what it's done there is it's buggered our descent profile a little bit. So I'm just working to get it back. That's the one, AJ Fanani. Yep, LGMT. It will be in our Discord server as well for those of you wanting to fly along potentially. So tomorrow, well tonight rather, in the live streams thread of our Discord server, I'll put the route and everything in there. And we'll be replicating a route from 10 years ago with Thomas Cook. Although TUI and a few other airlines still fly there, from what I understand. Yamato, yes, it was in real life done by Thomas Cook in the A321, which is why we picked it, because it's probably one of the more challenging approaches for the A321. It can just about get in. Very similar to Skiathos. It used to fly there as well, actually. So I very nearly picked Skiathos, but I changed my mind at the last minute. Right. Ah, bloody click spots, I hate them. Lights, signs. Get rid of the speed brake. I'll ignore that company message because it's just going to be our American Ops. Hitesh Kovariki. That's one heck of a mission. Ah, Ian. I bet he's going to turn up in 9 minutes 58 seconds. Unless it's Hermes, in which case they'll have stolen it. Or Every as they're now known. Dougal, it was Badger. How you doing, mates? Has just departed Leper, Palmer, Dear Mallorca for Gatwick. Great 2 sectors today. Looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be spicy as well. And Gatwick, I haven't flown out of there on VATSIM for a long time. It's usually quite busy and often chaotic. So it'll be quite good to see what's going on with that. But again, similarly, we've not flown into LaGuardia or the New York area for a long time either. So I'm looking forward to seeing what performance we get with this as well. Fenix A319 working spectacularly, as it has done for a while now. Let's get that out. (1023), which is 3021. Information. Charlie. (121.7). We need CTAF for LaGuardia 18.7. So the workload's going up now rapidly. (18.7) and 21.7 for ground. We'll pre-tune that as well. So we've got CTAF, which is tower. Apple in 15. Willow 10 because of the descent profile, so we're having to kind of stick with this. LaGuardia is a bit weird because it's nestled in and around and under the Newark airspace and the JFK airspace, but it's also showing the similar airspace to Teterboro as well. So you end up stepping down quite low like we are at the moment. Bearing in mind we've still got 30 miles to touchdown and we're at 5,900 feet already. But it's because the JFK airspace is all around us as well. FPS, whoops. But don't forget they have just updated it with a couple of tweaks, so it may well be that they've hopefully improved the flare a little bit. Ziggy says that he thinks the A319 is the best in the series from Fenix. Yeah, Mido, you asked earlier, and I think AJ Fanani put it in the chat as well. LGMT. But again, as I said, it's all going to be in our Discord server in the live streams thread once I've got round to actually setting up the stream for tomorrow. Let's pause the music. We don't need it. Gotta focus. Remember, it's going to be... we'll get the diamonds, but it's an ILS, so it's effectively a visual approach. Oh, nice MPS. Good effort. That's full Lufthansa style.
LaGuardia traffic, American 1191, tracking the localizer runway 4 inbound, just passing 3000 inbound.
We need 1800 now. I'm just going to plop that on there. Dougal, I appreciate that, mate. Into the clouds. Assume icing. Well, this is actually plus 26, my goodness. You never know. I'll put it on anyway. Guardia traffic, American 1237 is inbound, passing Renew at 4000, odd meter 3021 for the ILS 04 approach. Will report final. The Guardia. So there's the lateral guidance there for the ILS, but I'm not going to bother using it. I'm going to go performance, activate approach. Get her down to the green dot. We'll go for 1000 foot per minute, and that should give us a nice deceleration. There is my Milviz simulation. I forgot that was there. My Milviz simulation UK carrier pack. It's the Queen Elizabeth visiting the bay. Epic. I've got to get a screenshot of that quickly. Oh my goodness, what just happened? I think we're back in the cloud. The weather just updated, it's got really murky. Yes, rule Britannia. Britannia rules the waves. I forgot that was there.
LaGuardia traffic, American 1191, 5 miles out on the ILS.
That's brilliant. They're just doing an international tour, Hitesh. We could technically land on that. Look at that. That is
2,500.
that is ominous. Look at that. Really cool. Right, let's just get the autopilot off. Struggling to slow herself down here, so let's go speed brake out. Got to get below 230 for flap 1. Got to manage the energy here pretty quickly, otherwise we're too fast and too close. We've got 5 miles to slow down now. What have we got? Landing gear extension 280, extend at 250 and below. So let's get that out, increase the drag. Flap 1. Reset that.
Guardia traffic. Cactus 10, ILS.
Centuria, welcome. Just landed at LaGuardia in real life. Epic. Gears down, 3 green. Boilers retracted. Now armed again.
Guardia traffic, American 11 D1 truck final runway
LaGuardia traffic, American 1237, so reducing to final approach speed, and currently 9 mile final ILS 0 for LaGuardia. Okay, let's go full flap now, get ourselves configured, a little bumpy, getting chopped about all over the place. Manhattan in the fog there, looking pretty good. Just trying to look for the runway. Right in front of us there. Quite a crosswind. Basically right in the middle of the screen there. I've just sunk a bit. Hitesh, yes, but I got a bit distracted by the carrier group. My bad. Okay, if I put the bird on, look at that. For a drift. Okay, let's get on the glide. There's poor engines.
Lower to traffic American, no 1191 vacating, no limit.
It's 3.14 degree glide slope. Wow. Jesus. Matthew says giving us real life spacing here. Nice. Thank you very much. Good luck with the weather, folks. This is choppy. And I'm going to take Matthew's advice from the other day. I'm just going to add 2 knots. .5 miles, no pressure then for us on final to vacate for you, Matthew. I won't let you go around. And LaGuardia, American 1237 short, final 04. I mean, this handles so well in manual flight. Centurion says real life LaGuardia spacing, aka don't let them touch. To be fair, this surprises a lot of people, but at Heathrow the spacing is 2.5. Little adjustments all the time, just to try and push that scent line all the way through the jet, keep it stable. Progressing back round into a crosswind there.
100 above.
Just sort out that bit of sink quickly. Seconds to deal with that. Profile's good.
Minimum.
Continue.
$100.
Oh. Looking ahead.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Okay, down. Reverse screen. Nose wheels down. Manual brakes. Minimum runway occupancy. LaGuardia, American 1237's vacating a Papa. Whew. Look at that for spacing. Nice work, Matthew. That's bloody impressive. But then you are a real pilot, so. 127G, just to the edge of the touchdown zone. Well, on the touchdown zone, but just slightly off the centre line there. 295 foot per minute. Nice work. I'll take it. The Guardia ground, good morning. American 1237's vacated at Papa, requesting taxi to stand 16 if possible.
And American 1237 LaGuardia ground, good morning. Welcome to LaGuardia taxi Papa, Double Golf Alpha 2. Any stand of your choice. Have a great day.
Taxi Papa Golf and standard choice for American 1237, thanks.
And American 1237, sorry, just verify for me, Papa, Double Golf, please, Golf.
Roger, sorry, Papa and Golf, standard choice, American 1237.
Ground, CAC 2110, Quebec 422.
Sounds like a proper pilot as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, just 2110, you can, LaGuardia ground, welcome to LaGuardia, good morning. Taxi around via Golf Alpha, have a great day, see you.
Golf Alpha the ramp, Cactus 10, good day.
Golf. Is it A that we need? No, it's not. Maybe it's B. American.
And Cactus 21 can get away to the American 319 at Golf there, please.
Get away to the baby bus, Cactus 2110.
Where's 16? All the way over there. Eric says this ILS is actually bucking him up and down. So I'll keep it running out on this. There's the next one in. It's a 777. This is MK Studios, LaGuardia. Touchdown, right on the touchdown zone, nicely done. So what we got? Flaps, so that's all off. We've got TARA off, but we've got to leave the transponder on to squawk mode Charlie, and we'll head towards the bridge. I'll have to do a cactus flight at some point, Matthew. $17. Leads 16. Taxi lights off. Yeah, me too, AJ Finani. Doesn't seem to be in any model matching. I've got AIG and FSLTL installed. Sad. Oops, scrub that speed off.
Guardia ground, Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey.
Okay, good.
Request taxi.
That's off.
Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey, have the LaGuardia ground. Good morning, welcome to LaGuardia. For now you can switch back to...
Yeah, it's not a bad shout actually, Centuria. But I'd have to find it specifically.
Back on the other side.
Back up to Freetown, cross 13 at my own risk, and then back to you. Osprey 15 Lima Whiskey.
Eric, interesting. So that means they've actually modelled that in. Diverted? Where does it think we diverted to? So it's not even going to let us disembark. Interesting. But I want the jetway. Ah. GSX, you disappoint me. It was going so well. Let's restart QATL. Failed to load GSX menu, please wait. This LaGuardia looks great, doesn't it? All the links I think are in the description down below. Please wait, it might appear later. Brilliant. There we go. No. Jetty doesn't work. We found a dead one. Interesting. Oh well.
Guardia ground that's 21 Lima Whiskey, request taxi to any gate that...
That's a shame. Nice. Americans just touched down.
Guardia ground, we'll come back. Probably isn't a gate that can fit a 7 on the Guardia, but you can taxi Romeo, Golf, Alpha to gate of your choice. Have a great day.
Right, let's have a little look at New Sky, see what score we got, and we'll then see who's on final around us as well. Great to have Matthew flying along behind us as well today. Got a 10 for that last one. Nice.
American 1239, vacated runway via uniform.
Who else have we got?
American 1239, LaGuardia ground, welcome to
American 1239's inbound, and then American 111. Not sure if they're on VATSIM.
Crossing runway, crossing runway 13, call you back.
Let's try and find out. VATSIM radar will tell me actually, won't it? Yeah, American 111's next. One pilot left to come in, and he's on final now. About 8 miles. It surprised me with the MK Studios scenery that the jetty doesn't want to work. Weird. Maybe not all of them have quite been coded correctly. But the scenery is definitely a lot nicer than the Field Air Studios one. The airport there is actually pretty good, look. And you can go underneath the bridges and all that sort of thing with this one as well, which is very cool. I'll just check the description. Yes, all the scenery, in fact, is in the description for today's live stream. All 3 airports that we've used today: Boston, Washington National, and LaGuardia. Alex, thank you, matey. Appreciate the ATC. It was very good, thank you. 2 sectors, really nice. The Fenix A319 doing very, very well.
American 1239, cross runway 13, holding short of Romeo, Papa.
American 1239.
Don't forget, if you've not done so already, press that like button down below. Join us tomorrow, 12 o'clock UTC, 1300 UK time, I think. Maybe a little earlier, might be the same as today, 12:30 local UK time. For a flight to Mytilene. Doc might be able to tell us what the flight time might be. Unless he's already done that and given us a provisional route, I'm not sure. Just wait for American 111 to come in. They are short final, about 6 miles now. I'll do that now for you, Ian, actually. Where's it gone? General options. Yeah, because Ian's about to take delivery of his new RTX 4080, which is very exciting. So I'm running on DirectX 12. There you go. You'll be able to pause this and look back another time. Anyway, advanced settings are there. Everything basically on ultra. Terrain level of details on 200. Object level of detail 150. It doesn't really need to be any higher than that, to be fair. Same with the fidelity and render scaling. 100 is 4K. I don't need it any more than that. And then anisotropic filtering, 16 times super sampling, 8x8. There you go. Gives you a bit of an idea. And that's now given us perfect timing to watch our final pilot. Dark edits, yes, please do. Let us know. I'm sure you'll be fine. Massive thanks to our air traffic controllers today down at Washington National and here at LaGuardia. Appreciate all the ATC. Doc, tomorrow's flight is the old Thomas Cook Airlines flight, London Gatwick to Mytilene, which I think is LGMT. I'll put it in the live chat. I've put the flight number in the lounge a couple of days ago that I'll be using as well. But I might change the flight number and use that as a flight number and use the call sign as something different perhaps. Here we go. Yes, the island of Lesbos French toast. And I'll share in the live stream that I'm going to set up for tomorrow, in the description, I'll share the freeware scenery that we'll be using tomorrow as well. It's very good. Whoa! That must have been a right horrible last minute gust. He's off. Straight to gate. Yeah, off he goes. I'm just going straight to the gate. I'm a little bit late. Nicely dealt with. It's quite tricky actually here today. I'm just trying to find a windsock that I can show you folks. Can't see any there. How is there not a single windsock here? That's odd. Okay. I thought there would have been a windsock somewhere here. Apparently not. I can't find a single windsock. Flight 3 hours 11 minutes. There we go. Has anyone ever found a windsock here on the scenery? I don't know. Doesn't seem to be one at all. Oh well. Good effort, everybody, flying along today. 2 sectors out of Boston down to Washington National. Little turnaround there, having done the River Visual 19 with a tricky tailwind approach, and then here to finish off the hop down to LaGuardia to give us that spicy ILS 04 landing. I hope you've enjoyed the stream for today. The weather's decreasing here, getting a little bit worse through the afternoon into the evening, so if you want somewhere with a bit of spiciness to fly around, then you know where to go. But in the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all tomorrow for a flight to Lesbos. Take care. Thanks for watching.